Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tesla, this is our position that I've been posting for, I think, 8 months now. So if you've been following from the beginning, and maybe if you participated, congratulations, first of all, because the thesis is playing out. And if you haven't been around, well, basically, I'm just going to go over the game plan as to what to do now for ourselves. It's not financial advice or anything along those lines. This is just how my business partner and I are managing this position. And if you want to see our entry like 6-7 months ago and basically the thinking of what we expected, you can go ahead, watch the old videos, come back to now, and kind of we're just laying out the framework, right? The mental models that we are placing for making these trading decisions. So maybe there is value for you to find in your own trading and potentially just provide value and share our like our trade journal essentially, right? So if any point you find some value or you want to see more videos or maybe our next trade, which we're watching closely always, but right now it's just a time of staying patient, staying in the driver's seat, and just letting our winners ride, right? We have been positioned, and basically the only trade that is not working out as we expected is Alibaba. But I don't think we are proven incorrect just yet, because the way that I'm seeing it is as the US tops out, which it will because there is always corrections, and the markets, the S&P 500 and the Qs are on like a 50 or 60% rally over the last 2 years. Once they do revert back to the bigger picture mean, there will be flows that come out of the US markets. They will be looking for basically places where there is lower risk for higher return, right? And if you basically zoom out, where does that make sense? Well, let's look at the second largest economy in the world, which is China. And there are a lot of deals and a lot of innovation and a lot of growth. And not only that, the People's Bank of China they're very likely going to be placing some stimulatory policies in place, which I wouldn't compare it exactly, but it would be similar to what we saw after the financial crisis when basically the Fed stepped in, injected liquidity into the system. That's what we are anticipating to see in China. There are some positions that I am personally involved in. Alibaba, my partner and I are in this. And then another position which I like is X Financial, ticker symbol XYF. I've been in this for about a month now. One of my contacts shared this position with me, and in terms of value, just take a look at it if you are interested in some China names, right? None of this is financial advice. I am just sharing with you what we are trading and how we're trading it. So, with that aside, before I get into it, once again, please subscribe, like the video, and if you want more, just let me know. So Tesla, basically, we were buying as prices were coming down here. There was a spiral of bad news based around Elon Musk. And as prices were coming down, we were buying, buying, buying. It was quite nerve wracking, of course, right? You want to be a little more greedy when others are fearful. And Tesla had a spiral of bad news. Even here, there was a bad event, right? So basically, at these moments in time, we were buying and waiting for the base of 200 to be the new level where investors will say, okay, this is where Tesla should be having a floor. And once that happened, basically the way that I saw it is the technicals, and if you look at my previous videos, was this downtrend line, right? It was so simple, it was so clear, and the more you zoom out, the clearer the picture gets. And let's just take a look at this move on Tesla right here, right? So aside from everything that has happened fundamentally and from a macro perspective, just looking at the charts, right? You have your basically 2.5 year downtrend, and then a break above, right? I think this had to do something with deliveries. Honestly, it was quite some time ago, but if you just block out the noise, sometimes the chart will tell you enough and all you need to know, really. And basically, this was the trade that we were looking at for quite some time. Look at my last videos. I was talking about this before prices even broke out, and as they did break out, we added on the confirmation, and then we got lucky, right? So, and the reason why we got lucky is because we were prepared and we were willing to put on risk when others weren't willing to do so, and now we are being rewarded for it, as we are unrealized $418,000 on this position, and realized already $72,000 on Tesla. So this is quite the position. We are approaching our initial targets of 500. So I think as prices do get there, maybe we start to take some off the table. But really, the way that I'm seeing it is, I think prices are getting overextended. I'm not really going to fight it and like sell into it. I'm going to wait for prices to tell me to sell. But I think if prices get to 500, even if you put Fibonacci lines, this can go all the way up to 600. But the way that I'm seeing it now is, so long that we are above 414 to like 370, 350, more so 370, right? So this right here is the zone, 375 to 415, where if prices do come back and you didn't get a part of the move and everything looks clean and clear, then maybe there's a place to be adding some size into. But for now, I just don't think Tesla is worth selling too soon, right? The markets has totally changed its perspective on Tesla, right? Like, let's take a look at, obviously this isn't a perfect analysis, but if we look at the PE of Tesla, right, it's trading at 128 now, right? So now there's a lot of expectation being priced into Tesla. And then the question is, can they deliver in a timely manner in order to maintain these elevated prices or even push them even further? And to me, I don't think so. But the way that I also see it is, markets are at all-time highs. I'm not going to try to call any tops in the markets. I'm going to let it ride. I know that this is a huge FOMO stock. There were a lot of shorts on this name for quite some time. And right now we watch. So long that we are above $420, 414, 375, right? So long that we stay there, I still think that we are in the driver's seat. And if we want to hold, maybe we continue to hold. But for now, I don't want to be too jittery, even if prices do pull back, right? 10, 20, 30%. This thing is on a 100% plus move. So, like, you have to expect it, some sort of mean reversion, right? You just look at the moving averages, right? The 13 EMA. Don't be too jittery if this comes down, but just keep a close eye on Tesla. If you are in this position, a good way to a good way to own Tesla, if you have enough shares, is really just to sell covered calls, sell some premium into the position. And for now, that's basically it. So that's the update on Tesla. Markets are strong, markets are green. Let's see how high we can go. AI is here, but in my personal opinion, I'm not going to call it until we start to see some actual weakness. But we are closer to the top end of the range, meaning the risk to reward isn't there to be buying Tesla or be buying any US equities, in my opinion, or high beta names, right? So if your stock's been going up because the S&P is going up, maybe you don't want to be participating in that particular equity, right? So that's kind of just the way that I'm seeing the overall markets. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Alibaba, China names do seem quite attractive, but in terms of risk to reward, right, like the move is over, right? You had to have been in this way before, and if you're chasing up here, like what are you really doing? You're not looking at this clearly. You're not positioning yourself, thinking about the future. You're kind of just more so fear of missing out, chasing type of trading, and you don't want to be doing that. So if you like it, it's simple what we're doing, You just have to zoom out, right? So if you have any questions, please comment down below. And if you liked it, please like. I will also be posting, I have an algorithmic channel now that I'm doing algorithmic trading. So please subscribe if you are interested in that, because there's plenty more coming out on that end. Thanks for watching.